Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for the Royal Menagerie. This is a level 70 trial made available by Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. My name is Mystek and I'll be your primal guide. The first thing you might notice is the duty gauge, indicating Shinryu's current level of corrupted Aether. Anytime this hits the limit, he'll release a specific element aspected Aether attack. Both the tank and off-tank will be targeted by some pretty fast auto attacks, so healers keep an eye on both of their health bars. The first major ability is Tidal Wave. This will push back and deal high damage to all players a set distance from the wave. Players will need to move to the side of the platform that the tidal wave has spawned on to avoid getting punted off the platform. This will also place a number of AoE puddles on the platform. These will grant players with a fire resist up buff and a lightning resist down 2 buff. Essentially, you don't want to be inside the water during a lightning attack, but you will find it useful during a fire attack. At this point, the puddles are unnecessary and can be ignored. Hypernova will target a player with this stack up marker. All other players will need to stack in to share the damage. When the boss casts Akmorn, tanks will need to stand together and cool down through it to share damage. Each subsequent cast of Akmorn will of course increase the number of hits on the tanks, so be ready. Spikesicles are large alternating column AoEs that are easily avoided. Ice Storm will deal raid-wide damage. Earth Breath will target 2 players with very large cone AoEs that both originate in the center of the boss. These AoEs can actually be baited and stacked on one side, minimizing the affected area of the platform and allowing for some easy dodging. At this point, the duty gauge will be close to filling up again. The fire aspected Aether attack is Hellfire and will deal a high amount of damage to all players. Standing in a water puddle during this time will reduce the damage and is highly recommended. The lightning aspected Aether attack is Judgment Bolt. Players will need to avoid the water puddles at this time, and healers will need to heal through the damage as necessary. Watch for what's coming and then react accordingly. After the second Aether attack, the next phase will begin with eggs dropping to the platform and doing proximity-based damage. Find the safe zone before running back in to destroy the adds. 3 waves of adds will drop down on the platform, each time dealing proximity-based damage. The adds will also cast their own AoEs, stacking supernation debuffs on players' hit, so be careful. Once all of the adds are destroyed, Shinryu will cast his ultimate, dealing damage, binding players, and starting an active time maneuver. Players will need to escape from their chains before the boss crashes through the platform, or they will die. If handled successfully, players will land on the next platform and the fight will continue. The boss will immediately cast a massive knockback with 2 safe zones in the corners of the platform. Move to the closest safe zone immediately to avoid high damage and potentially getting punted off of the platform. You'll notice that the platform has a centerpiece made of stone, with the outer perimeter made of a much less sturdy material. Periodically, the boss will slam his tail down on 2 tiles, indicated by this huge red marker dealing high damage and cracking the outer tiles. If his tail hits the same outer tile more than once, the tile will break and the platform in that area will disappear, killing anyone caught in the area. To be safe, try to avoid standing on cracked tiles, or at least stand close enough to be able to escape to a safe tile if necessary. When the tail slams down, it'll be vulnerable to damage and all players should switch and destroy it. Destroying a tail deals almost 400,000 points of damage to Shinryu, which is a nice boost in raid damage. Players affected by these orange markers will be afflicted by burning chains, and each player will need to move away from their chain partner to break the effect. These purple markers indicate Levin Bolt is about to be cast on players. Spread apart and avoid standing in puddles to minimize damage. Be sure to avoid the middle tile anytime it's targeted by this massive circle AoE, as it will stun you and apply a vulnerability up debuff. At this point, these main mechanics will repeat, with Aether attacks whenever the duty gauge fills. The ice aspected Aether attack is Diamond Dust. All players will need to stop moving at the end of this cast or they will slide across the platform to their untimely deaths. The earth aspected Aether attack is Earthen Fury. This is high raid-wide damage that healers will need to be ready to shield and heal through. The wind aspected Aether attack is Aerial Blast. At the same time, a super cyclone will spawn in the center, pushing players back at intervals. You'll need to make sure you keep running into the center of the platform to avoid getting knocked off. Players will need to heal through Aerial Blast as well. Now that you've seen every ability, it's just a matter of repetition until the boss is down. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Up next, we'll take a look at Kuganda Castle. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.